Today's highlights: the Fed is printing money while altcoins are stalling. Is Bitcoin just catching its breath or gearing up for another big move? Warren fiercely confronts Trump, and after Zhao Changpeng's pardon, he fires back with, "See you in court." The drama is just beginning. Under the regulatory shackles, can unconventional approaches still beat the compliant ones? This time, the Fed can finally breathe a sigh of relief. They've announced that starting in December, they will stop shrinking the balance sheet, which basically means we're not taking the money back anymore. As soon as this news came out, the market reacted as if it had just received a shot of adrenaline. Treasury Secretary Bessent didn't want to be left out either, saying that the risk of a government shutdown has already slowed down the economy, and even revealed that the new Fed chair could be decided before Christmas. In the short term, Powell's comment about not cutting rates did put a damper on the market, but after hours, tech stocks rallied and risk assets came back to life. Bitcoin also rode the elevator up along with them. It jumped from $106,000 back up to $109,000. As for Ethereum, it was even more resilient, bouncing from $3,687. It rebounded to above $3,850, with on-chain capital continuing to flow in and major holders not letting go of their positions. Overall, this move looks more like a breather than a real turning point. In the long run, liquidity is starting to loosen, the political cycle is shifting, and both Bitcoin and Ethereum are gathering momentum. The market's confidence is also gradually returning. The Bitcoin market in October feels a bit like the end of a party. The lights are still on, but people are already looking for the exit. The short-term SOPR has stayed below 1 for several days in a row, which means short-term players aren't making money. Instead, they're cutting their losses and liquidating. At the beginning of the month, everyone was shouting that the bull market had arrived, but now it's turned into, "Please don't trap me anymore." The only thing left under pressure is thin air, and market sentiment has shifted from excitement to silence. On-chain data shows that both SOPR and price are dropping together, which means people are cutting their losses where they should and reporting what needs to be reported. To put it simply, this isn't a crash, it's actually a good thing. Chips need to change hands, and leverage positions need to be liquidated. As for the market, take a breather and wait for the next signal to restart the party. Right now, the crypto world feels a bit like a one-man show starring Bitcoin. According to the data, the altcoin season index is only 29 out of 100, which means we're deep into Bitcoin season. Over the past 90 days, almost all of the top 100 altcoins have underperformed compared to Bitcoin. The capital is overwhelmingly flowing toward the mainstream coins. Since the end of September, the altcoin market cap has been sliding all the way down, dropping from a high of 75 to 29. There was a brief struggle in the middle, but Bitcoin's strong performance quickly pushed it back down. Simply put, right now, it's BTC surging ahead while altcoins are taking a nap. All the funds are clinging to Bitcoin, and no one dares to rush into the second-tier coins, unless liquidity loosens up significantly or Bitcoin stabilizes first. Otherwise, altcoins can only keep circling around in a low volatility zone. So this isn't the season for altcoins, it's the year of Bitcoin's dominance. Like and follow to stay updated with the latest crypto, blockchain, and mining news 24/7. Click the bell to join and become a member. From Monday to Friday, get exclusive member wealth codes. In 2023, CZ Zhao Changpeng was targeted by the US because Binance failed at anti-money laundering. He pleaded guilty, stepped down, served 4 months in prison, and paid a $50 million fine. Then, on October 23rd this year, Trump issued a pardon and released him directly, even justifying it by saying that he was a victim of the Biden administration's crackdown. As soon as the news broke, the crypto community exploded, and Senator Elizabeth Warren immediately lashed out. A person who has admitted to money laundering can actually buy a pardon by funding Trump's stablecoin plan. How is this justice? This is basically a real-life version of House of Cards. The political undertones here are even stronger than those in the blockchain world.
U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren and Representative Adam Schiff jointly introduced Resolution S-Resin 466, condemning Trump's decision to pardon CZ, saying it undermines judicial independence and encourages political corruption. They also called on Congress to take action to stop such power-for-pardon deals.
Mr. President, American families are struggling to pay for groceries and rent. Federal workers are missing paychecks, and Americans across the country are watching as their health insurance premiums skyrocket. But what is President Donald Trump focused on? He just pardoned a convicted crypto billionaire who helped the Trump family get even richer. Changpeng Zhao, known as CZ, founded Binance, a giant crypto exchange that became a haven for terrorists, child abusers, and other criminals. Both Republican and Democratic policymakers have been sounding the alarm about its finances.
CZ's lawyer, Teresa Goody-Guillain, hit back, stating that Warren's remarks were seriously inaccurate. She has begun preparing a formal letter demanding that Warren retract her post and false statements or else face a defamation lawsuit. As of now, Warren's office has not responded.
These past few days, the news about CZ being pardoned by Trump has really blown up. Some people see it as a dramatic plot twist, while others treat it as political and business gossip. But the more I think about it, the more I feel that this is actually a classic case of co-optation. The script goes like this: paying a $4.3 billion fine is like paying tuition, and admitting fault to get a pardon is the olive branch extended by those in power. Basically, it means don't resist, just cooperate, and the system will still leave you a spot. Reuters even dug up that Binance provided technical support for Trump's projects, and the UAE fund is getting involved too. The project then turned around and invested in Binance. How is that a coincidence? This is about aligning interests. To be blunt, it's not about being saved, but about being absorbed. Nor is it about forgiveness, but about being brought into the system. The century-defining showdown over stablecoins has begun. On one side, you have USDT, which came from the wild, running rampant across the globe, seemingly capable of anything. On the other side, there's the model student USDC, checking in for compliance every day and thriving on Wall Street. So what happened? In July 2025, the Genius Act was introduced. Everyone has to put on their regulatory uniforms and enter the exam room, whether you made your way in the world through libertarianism or by following the rules and reaping the rewards. Now, both of them are locked in the same exam room, and no one can skip the test. The winner won't just get a US license. They might also get to define what the next digital dollar will look like. This is basically the college entrance exam for stablecoins, but instead of testing math, it's all about political instincts.
According to JP Morgan's latest report, USDC's growth rate has now completely surpassed that of USDT. USDC's market cap has risen from $48 billion at the beginning of the year to $76 billion, an increase of 59%. USDT, on the other hand, grew from $138 billion to $183 billion, an increase of only 32.5%. Although USDT still holds a 60% market share, USDC is clearly more active in DeFi lending and yield farming. This is attracting more institutions and developers to join in.
In the crypto world, one is a seasoned veteran with street smarts. USDC is the model student for regulation, steadily gaining ground with its upright image. One ventures out boldly, while the other strictly follows the rules. Together, they make the stablecoin business thrive. Their money-making strategy is simple: use US dollars to buy US Treasury bonds. When the Federal Reserve raises interest rates, they just count their profits. From here, the competition isn't about who shouts louder, but who divides the pie better. Whoever shares interest more generously will win the next round of the stablecoin war. Why have stablecoins become a lifeline for Africans as their local currencies plummet? In the crypto world, how much decentralization is really left? In Africa, stablecoins are more than just coins. They're life-saving cash. This March, on-chain transaction volume in sub-Saharan Africa exploded, with over 70% being stablecoins. The naira keeps dropping, so locals are simply converting everything to USDT and USDC, using them as digital safes. And when you look at the data from analysis, it's even more astonishing. If you want to send $200 home, using stablecoins is 60% cheaper than SWIFT. In the past, you had to wait a week, but now it arrives in just a few seconds. Migrant workers rely on it to send money. Small business owners use it to receive payments. Stablecoins have directly become the wallets, banks, and lifelines of Africans.
You know, Africa's market or financial market is heavily dependent on currency volatilities. I think we all know what that means. The fluctuations that are currencies. Do you actually see or experience this? And we also have very weak forex corridors. So some of these issues, some of these market failures that aren't being addressed are part of the reason why we've seen the kind of bold innovation and emerging technologies that are coming up now.
Nigerian fintech giant Flatweb has partnered with Polygon to launch a stablecoin cross-border payment platform covering 34 countries. Polygon's transaction fees are as low as 1 cent, with confirmations taking just a few seconds, offering hope to end the slow and expensive dilemma of cross-border transfers in Africa. CU allowing Gabella said the new platform will boost transaction volume tenfold. The plan is to first serve corporate clients in 2025, then expand to personal remittances in 2026. By then, traders could save 3 to 6% in costs. Payment time will drop from 120 days to a few minutes.
This time, Africa is taking it seriously. Even the presidents are giving the green light to crypto. Nigeria just passed the 2025 Investment and Securities Act, directly bringing virtual assets under regulatory oversight and even setting up a dedicated agency to closely monitor the market. Now, stablecoins finally have official recognition. What's even more impressive is that Kenya and Ghana immediately followed suit. Get ready, everyone's joining in. You should know that Africa's cross-border textile market is as large as $16.5 trillion. This wave could truly bring stablecoins from exchanges into corporate ledgers, transforming them from speculative tools into financial assets. In the future, it's possible that Africa could use stablecoins to connect directly with global markets. This isn't just about compliance, it's a financial revolution. In the crypto world this year, it's no longer just about watching candlestick charts to see if prices are up or down. Now, it's presidents themselves issuing coins to ride the hype, and even hacker attacks are tied to geopolitics. Countries are going back and forth with regulations. It's become a global political and financial reality show. Cryptocurrency is no longer just a speculative game. It has become a tool of power and discourse. The whole space is like a mix of Wall Street, the White House, and Twitter, with hype so loud it shakes the sky. Yet no one talks about the ideals of decentralization anymore. The reality has taken center stage, and now the game is about who can appear the most upright.
This year, crypto has almost become a battleground between politics and capital. In January, after Trump launched the Trump token, Melania soon released the Melania token. The combined market value of both tokens soared to $11 billion before crashing. Suspicions of political manipulation arose. At the end of February, a North Korean hacker attack resulted in the theft of $1.5 billion worth of Ethereum, marking the largest crypto heist in history. In May, Trump held a private dinner with major holders of Trump tokens, with big players like Justin Sun in attendance. Congress questioned power rent-seeking. In October, Trump announced new China tariffs, causing a market crash and the 10/11 liquidation cascade. Anonymous accounts shorted early, moving $160 million, and insider trading rumors spread. At month's end, he pardoned Binance founder Zhao Changpeng, and news of business ties and profit transfers between them reignited controversy.
And the president, of course, followed up with a visit of his own there and made a deal with a separate UAE state-owned company that allowed the transfer of very sensitive U.S. chips and AI technology to that other company called G42. It turns out that the chair of G42, the company that received what could be considered the crown jewels of U.S. AI technology, and the chair of the company MGX, the one Eric Trump made a deal with, is the same person. Would you agree that that also creates the stench of corruption? It certainly does.
This year may not be the worst for the crypto world, but it's definitely the most absurd. Secret coins have turned into political weapons, hacking attacks have become the main course at international presidential banquets, and direct token pardons feel more like an American TV drama. At this rate, if you want to trade crypto, you might have to check the president's Twitter first, and then guess who's getting pardoned next. So-called decentralization now looks more like de-idealization, but in the crypto world, getting wrecked is just business as usual. But every time it crashes, it somehow manages to evolve. Hopefully, in 2026, we'll see more products and less drama. After all, we're here for a technological revolution, not to binge-watch political reality shows. What the crypto world fears most isn't a market crash, but being co-opted by politics.
SBF posted a report on X showing where all the FTX money went. He claimed that FTX was never actually bankrupt, and the data shows that 98% of creditors got back 120% of what they were owed. There's still $8 billion left on the books. SBF's point is clear. The crash was actually caused by the lawyers, not because FTX was out of money, but because the funds were locked up by the system. Jesopolek from Face revealed that Coinbase has made another move. This quarter, they not only added 2,772 more Bitcoins, but also picked up 11,933 Ethereum. The message is simple. The market isn't over yet. They're continuing to increase their positions. Although market sentiment is still tugging back and forth, quite a few coins have started to rebound from their lows. Dodo, Dusk, LPT, LNEO, MROSE, SWIS, and IMX all rose by about 5%. Some even led the gains with over 6%. It looks like in this round of tug-of-war between bulls and bears, the bulls have scored a small victory for now. Bear market on Solana has secured new funding. This challenge platform just officially announced the completion of a $2 million financing round led by Ceiling 2. Meanwhile, Australian police have set their sights on a crypto wallet holding $6.4 million. It turned out after investigation that the wallet was actually a money laundering account for a transnational crime syndicate. This move is practically a real-life blockchain version of Money Heist.
Today's Hall of Fame features a classic line from Shen Gongbao in the movie Neja. I've made it this far on my own, no one is my backer. The only ones who can torment me are those I care about. As long as I stop caring, what can the heavens do to me? This really lays out the essence of life with absolute clarity. What we call growth is really about learning to free yourself from the shackles of your emotions. When you no longer feel anxious about others' indifference and stop obsessing over outcomes that aren't meant for you, even the blade of fate becomes dull. The rules of life are actually quite simple. Let go of your attachments and you'll find a way out. What people call cold-blooded isn't about being heartless, it's about learning not to be controlled by emotions. If your mind stays calm, no matter the storm, it won't make a splash. If you get this, please like. That's all for today. Our channel covers valuable news in crypto, blockchain, and mining. We provide news updates and in-depth reports. If you find us valuable, share and follow. You can also join as a member. Monday to Friday, get exclusive member wealth codes. Let's add a zero to our assets in this bull market.